Dude, God, she was not expecting that. Who was expecting that? It was semi-final 3 in Leksand, and we were going in thinking this would be very unpredictable.
And it was.
Well, the only predictable thing about this heat and about the whole contest was Johan Henrik is going to be DTF. Won't spend too much time on it. As expected, Johan Henrik going direct to the finals in Stockholm. But let's talk about the rest of the results. Let's talk first with 6th and 7th place, who we don't know at the moment, but it was the Lovers of Valdaro and Omar. They came in 6th and 7th. I was hoping that in this very unpredictable heat, at least one of them would be moving on. Judging by the audience poll yesterday by the Swedish fan club, we thought it would have been Omar, and surprisingly, neither of them went forward.
No, I am still in shock by Omar not qualifying, or at least being 5th. I am. He was like today, all day today, people have been talking, and even up until we saw that first result, people were saying he would go to the finals, and we had loads of friends and people messaging us saying, Omar to the finals, he was so good, and then gone.
Well, it was not a typical mellow song. It was kind of maybe stretching it to kind of have Sweden think it would be behind it. We've seen it before with Dotter. We've seen it with Loreen. Sometimes when you use a bit of this, it's a bit of a risk. And while judging by who advanced, it was definitely a very traditional part of Sweden that seems to be watching, well, maybe this season, because some of the more progressive, kind of not so traditional mellow numbers and people are not going through. So perhaps there is a slightly different audience than we've had compared to last year, minus semi-final 3.
And apparently my friends and close ones are not amongst the mellow viewers or voters. At least
we have
they
3
watch,
million
but they don't
people
vote.
watching, so it's really you can't tell by such a small selection like audience polls and by friends, because again, Sweden is bigger than Stockholm, as I found out when I started getting more into Melodifestivalen. There's other places that exist with people who think differently, dress differently, and talk slightly differently. But let's move on to 5th place, which was also a bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
Dolly Style.
Yes, everyone was talking about Dolly Style as well, that they had their best act so far, the best song so far, and everybody likes it, everybody sings along to it, everybody did a dance, and this was going to be the happy fun thing.
Well, it wasn't really happy fun, because for Dolly Style, this actually was a bit more mature than their usual audience. I think the song was good, I think it was catchy, but I think the 3 of them should have just taken off the wigs and done a completely different character or themselves for it, because it's not really Dolly Style. It's a bit more mature than what the younger people out there are used to. It is definitely a good song with a hook, but Sweden didn't want it, and I think it's because Dolly Style, they too took a bit of a risk. The staging was not as fun as the previous 2 entries, and unfortunately, just the name and brand alone wasn't enough to propel it to move on, which they've done twice before to Andra Hansen.
No, exactly. You said it all.
But speaking of Andra Hansen, it was Martin Stenmark and Rebecca Carlson taking those spots. First off, Martin Stenmark, not really a surprise.
No, I wasn't surprised. I think he is he's such a pro. Like, he just goes up and he delivers. He's flawless in the singing. He was
having dinner here like 90 minutes before he was supposed to be on stage, and we're 30 minutes away from the arena. So whereas the other artists are spending their entire day there, Martin's like, nah, let me just go back to the hotel 30 minutes away, sit there, have dinner, relax. It's almost like he just got to the arena, said, where's my mic, went on stage and killed it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the audience knows him. He's secure. People trust him.
Right, and there's definitely a lot of charisma behind those eyes. He is such a pro. If you see every time the camera shots change, he knows when to close his eyes, shift his head, and look right into the right camera. That's talent, that's experience, and it connects with the viewers, which was the important thing, but Rebecca Carlson, somebody who at the beginning of the week was touted to go direct, then after we started seeing her live performance and with the audience poll, put her last, and here she is going to Anders Hansen.
Yeah, I am surprised, but still not, because what we saw yesterday in dress rehearsal was a disaster. But what we saw today on TV was something completely different. It was different clothes, it was different confidence. Everything was just there now. And
I wouldn't say it was a complete disaster. She was a bit off. It's a bit maybe an exaggeration to say.
With the clothes and with everything.
She was wearing white yesterday.
Yeah, which was ugly. Like, it wasn't just a white dress. It was some ugly shit. And she had aluminum boots going up to her hips. And no, that just looked awful. And this was something that people connect to.
Well, I think at the same time, it's perhaps not the difference that propels her from last place in the audience poll up. I think what happened was that this staging is actually TV staging. It wasn't too much, but it's TV staging, because if you're in the audience, she's just standing in a circle with things happening around her. But it was definitely made for the camera. That was the goal. It's what Margaret did last week, but maybe with Margaret it was a bit too much. But Rebecca just got that fine line, the fine balance of too much and just right. And it connected with people at home. We thought, or we knew it was a good song. We knew she could sing. And so she delivered on both. And, well, at the end of the day, it was a TV number and it connected with the TV audience. But I think one of the biggest shockers, pleasant shockers.
Yeah, I love this song.
Finale going to Stockholm, Lena Headland, victorious.
Yes, that was a big shocker, because we usually count out these older Schlager hits. And
well, it was actually Jessica Anderson that went to direct to the finals in semifinal 3, because semifinal 3 traditionally is kind of like not the most popular semifinal ratings wise.
No, exactly.
So it's usually kind of like it's an odd segment that votes, and Lena completely nailed it, went through.
Yeah, she's like Martin. She's a complete professional. Oh my God. But I didn't think it would work the way it did. I really like it. I'm very happy. But it was surprising.
It was a good shock, I think, to me. I think for me, I was hoping that Omar would somehow get through one of the rounds. But I think I was very happy when it was Lena. I think that was a very nice shock, because she did score so little with the audience poll yesterday. But this, too, is a TV number.
I think so, too, yeah.
Lena knows her angles. She knows where to stand for the cameras. And I think that, well-deserved.
Yeah.
Semifinal 3, it's always kind of a weird one sometimes, because the segment that watches and votes can traditionally not be traditional, or maybe too much. But
too traditional.
In this case, it did work out for Martin and Lena.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the thing. The third semi, like you say, is just the hardcore fans that watch and vote, and then this happens. If the audience that was with us for the first and second semi was still here, maybe it would have looked differently.
Well, that we know 6 finalists for sure going to Stockholm. We have Lena, Jon Henrik, Liamo, Hannah. We have Malou. We have, semifinal ones feels Mohambi.
It was too long ago.
And Victoria. Out of the 6.
Victoria and victorious now.
Victoria, victorious. Out of the 6, is there a contender for the big Songbird Trophy?
Yeah, Jon Henrik.
I'm going to still kind of stay on the side of Liamo and Hannah. Jon Henrik, for sure, is up there.
His reindeer.
Jon Henrik is very touching. It touches the people of Sweden. He just came off a big win on Let's Dance, so he does have the public support. But we'll have to see one more heat, second chance. Yeah. Anything can still happen.
Oh God, yes. This year it seems no one can guess anything, right? So,
and I think that has a lot to say about the quality of the songs. I think
it's
we
also
have
fun when you don't know
a lot of
everything.
Great songs in the heat, unpredictable. The song can be great, the staging can ruin it. The staging can be great and make a bad song elevated. But next week going in, what are you looking forward to the most?
Ooh, I don't know.
Jon Lundvik, Bishara, who's been getting a lot of buzz around the press room.
Yeah, Bishara is my last hope. Please, Bishara, bring it to the finals.
No pressure for a 15-year-old, is it?
No, of course not. I will not tell him.
But again, it is a unpredictable heat next week as well.
Oh God, yes. It's impossible.
very exciting though nonetheless. As a viewer, you know, you don't want it to be so predictable. I like how the heart shape has changed. We
We
can't
can't. We
time
tried.
it.
We thought we figured it out today, but no, we did not.
We can't. Well, that's what we thought about the third semifinal. What did you think about the third semifinal? Leave a comment down there. Drop a like. Drop a notification. You click on it.
Oh.
But you can comment like this. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media. This is Elaine again from Schlagerfesten. How can people follow you?
On Instagram or Facebook or SoundCloud or iTunes or Acast or, you know,
All of
pretty
the
much everywhere.
above.
Yeah.
Schlagerfesten, wiwibloggs. Thanks for watching. Bye!